Well, Tommy, amazing game. A couple of days afterwards, is it still sinking in how surreal it was to play in a classic like that?
Yeah, look, it was certainly an interesting game. Obviously, at half time to walk away with the 2 points was obviously, a great result. But obviously heading into the game, we wanted to dish up a little bit better than we were able to do, and it's something which, the contested ball is something which we got belted in on the other day, and it's something which has been a real focus for ours, but also a great strength of ours, and it's a real cornerstone of how we've been having our wins this year. So disappointing in that aspect, and but certainly we get great belief out of the fact that going forward, whether how much you're down, we don't want to be 50 points down, but if we're a couple of goals down, we feel like we can bridge that gap pretty quickly against anyone. Just
speaking of that, Tex spoke, I think, on radio on Triple M this morning and said he felt like maybe you weren't prepared, just mentally weren't prepared. Is that what you feel as well, maybe?
Oh, look, it's a lot of things go into performance on game day, and preparation sometimes people get caught up in thinking it's just, you didn't want to play, you're not ready to go. A lot of things go into getting yourself right for a game and being in that right physical and mental state come game day. And obviously they were more prepared than we were. They came out of the gates and obviously were 50 points up before a response really did come from us. So in that aspect, obviously we weren't as prepared to their level. Yes, we still prepare at a very high level, but they were hungrier than we were, especially in the first half. So, but we turned it around.
Can you feel a difference looking back at the game like that? In the some games you might come out and kick 10 goals in the first quarter, and the other ones like this on the weekend. Can you feel the difference now looking back at it?
I don't know if we feel the difference. We certainly know what makes us play our best footy, and that is winning that contested ball and playing the game in our half and having repeat entries, and and that's not going to change this year or going forward. That's our blueprint. And but at the same time, we certainly felt the momentum was shifting our way, and that we're scoring quickly. And I think from being 50 points down to 3 points down, it was in the space of a quarter. So I think it was 5 minutes into the last quarter we got bridged the gap. So if we were able to tidy up the contest stuff, it would have gone a long way for us to continue our run. But they played really well too, Collingwood.
A couple of reinforcements this week, mate. That'd be pretty handy. It's obviously going to be a pretty important showdown, as they all are at this end of the season, but you get a few of the boys back ideally.
Yeah, hopefully. Brad and Jake Lever and Eddie will train our main sessions Thursday. So those guys will be given every opportunity to get themselves up, but we're not going to take any risks if they're not 100%. But seeing as they are, we've got full faith in our medical staff and our fitness staff who have been able to prepare those guys and get themselves ready for another showdown. But they'll have to get through Thursday's session and then the session later on in the week on the Saturday. So we're really confident that those boys will be right to go. But as I said, we're not going to play them unless they are 100%.
Did you take this?
Yeah, disappointing, but also he'll be okay. It's only it won't be too long before he's back. So he got it quite early and was quite smart with it, which is pleasing. And he'll be back before you know it.
Lynch, do you know if Eddie's done anything at the club? Like, has he done any jogging or moving around or anything? Or?
Yeah, he's been back at the club. So he's been back amongst the boys and slowly getting moving. So it's obviously something which I have no idea about, but. They're taking it pretty slow initially when he obviously had the surgery, but I seem to think they say he improves pretty quickly. So hopefully it does happen quite quickly.
How was it that adjustment not having Eddie there on the weekend? Obviously you had played every game for the Crows before that. Was it pretty different not having him in the forward?
Yeah, it was different. Yeah, obviously missing a quality player like Ed, he's a superstar of the game, and he brings great energy to our group. So it was obviously different in that aspect, but. At the same time, barring all the result happening, it was a good opportunity for some other guys to stand up. And obviously, Mitch has been spoken about. He had a, really impressive game, or second half, and was instrumental in getting us the result we did get in the end.
Did you see Eddie's video that he posted when he was watching the game?
Yeah, a lot of carry on. Yeah, at home, I'm sure he was. He was anxious and nervous, that like we all were, but it's hard watching it on TV when you're out rather than being out there. So yeah, good on him.
What about Jakey? He seems close to ready to go.
Yeah, look, he'll have to get through training, as I said, but barring all that, then he should be right to go. But by looking at him, I can't tell whether he's right to go. It's a it's a hamstring, so can't tell that by his facial reaction. But he should be fine if he gets through training, and we'll go from there.
Against Port, what do you put that down to?
Well, no, we know that they're a quality side, and every game we play against Port is usually close. So it comes down to just willing yourself from contest to contest, and really being prepared for a fierce battle. And they've been playing some fantastic footy, and they obviously had another thrilling win on I think it was Saturday night. So we know we're going to be in for a real tough contest, and we're going to have to be at our absolute best to challenge them and beat them. So really looking forward to it though, and there's not much more enjoyment than playing in showdowns.
They've conceded the least amount of points in the competition this year. What makes their backline so tough to score against?
I just think they've been able to play together for a long while now. They're great continuity in their group, being able to, as I said, play together. So they know how each other, their strengths and their weaknesses, and they're a good group. So, but it's their whole team defence is all over the ground. They're a high pressure team, and we like to think we are too. So it's going to be a tough battle in that aspect.
How important is momentum going to a big game like this? I mean, you both had great escapes on the weekends.
Yeah.
How does that sort of affect it?
Momentum will ebb and flow within a game. You just got to capitalise on your opportunities when you do have your momentum swing. So I'm sure on Sunday we're gonna, and every game going forward, when we do have our momentum swing, we've got to be able to capitalise like we were able to do on the weekend. We're quite efficient going forward and scoring. So if we can do that and play the way we want to play, it's going to go a long way. But the flip side, if we don't take our opportunities when we do have our when our chances come, then we're going to be in for a long day.
You raising the bat?
Yeah, it's been about 15 years now. They average about 4 games a year. So no, it's something which obviously wrap for the opportunity that Adelaide Football Club gave me, and really pleased and proud to place that many games for this club. So looking forward to it. But it's a showdown. It's probably more important.
It's been a hell of a journey though, isn't it? I mean, a lot of talk around on the telecast, guys like Jimmy Bartell saying that you are the Crows' most important player. From a bloke who struggled to get one at Saints, and now all of a sudden, you talks about us being one of the best. Yeah, look,
Jimmy's on my Christmas card list, but it's just enjoyable to be going out there and play footy with these guys each week, and to be fortunate enough to play AFL footy. I know everyone mentions that a number of times, but it is really it's something we're really lucky to be able to do, and when you're winning games of footy, it's at its most enjoyable. And the last few years we've won a lot of games, but this year especially we've been able to put ourselves in a position where anything's possible. So I'm really enjoying that part of it, and before you know it, the games creep up on you.
What must be the biggest showdown you've played in, Lynch, at your time?
I think every showdown's, or the next showdown's always the biggest showdown. So I'm not sure if this one's the biggest, but it seems like going into everyone the biggest. But at the point of this year, it's pretty important for both teams. Coming to a pointy end of the year, and both teams right in the hunt for finals and going forward. But there's been some special showdowns, or only my small period of time in the game, and obviously the Phil Walsh game, obviously one that comes to mind. But in terms of the aspirations of both teams this year, it is a pretty important game.
A couple of boys with a future in gardening today, Tommy.
Yeah, so we're at Goodwood Primary doing for a Toyota Tree Day. So it's Toyota is a big sponsor of our club and has been for the journey. So the boys are getting their hands dirty, and a few of them, I think Dougie said he wants to cut 2 years off his apprenticeship. So we've planted a few trees over our time, but it's always a great day. Yeah.
Lynch, do you have a view on the Dangerfield incident? Like, do you think players, if it's a footy incident and maybe careless, you probably shouldn't run the risk of being rubbed out for the Brownlow? Intent is probably the main argument. If you go to hit someone, that probably crosses a line. But when a bloke's just trying to tackle, that's probably the grey area.
Yeah, look, it is a tough one. I mean, the rules are in place, but and everyone's got to follow them. But at the same time, we know Paddy. He's a tough player. He plays the ball, and he'll continue to do so. So it's a tough one, and it's things happen out in the ground really quickly. But they're the rules that we've all got to follow.
You would suggest he doesn't go from winning the Brownlow and being the fairest and best to losing the fairest aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, he's a terrific player and a champion of the game, and obviously winning the Brownlow last year says a lot of things. But he'll you know, he'll get himself right for what he needs to. I think the finals for him is a bit more important. So you know, he'll do what he has to.
Do you think they should take out the fairest component out of the Brownlow medal and just make it the best player?
No, look, that's the that's the thing that's made it so special. It's an award which is voted on by the umpires, and that's the award. There's a lot of other awards as well. The coaches award that players can win. So you've got to follow by the rules.